Hello, my name's Tom Wardle, and I'm a Dharma teacher with Moon Zen. Today, I'd like to think together about the second grave precept, not stealing. And the way I'd like to do that is by playing a little jazz with the phrasing. I've found that the language I use profoundly affects my thinking on a subject. My words create my world, giving things their shape and shadow. A particular wording will illuminate certain aspects of a subject while obscuring others. Each different wording offers up unique possibilities of understanding, and this understanding brings the precept out of my head and into my life. It's worth remembering that in Zen, we do not practice the precepts as commandments or rules. Rather, they are reminders of our vow to be of some use in the world. They are pointers that invite us to engage intimately with our lives. For me, they help me see where I'm stuck, and they also illuminate the complex effects of my actions. The second precept is often concisely phrased as don't steal or don't take things that don't belong to you. These phrasings are nicely clear, but they also seem reductive. For me, this wording largely limits the issue to outright theft, and most of us probably think, I don't steal, so I'm not a thief, so I'm off the hook here. Next precept. I notice that there's a rigidity here that doesn't reflect my experience of the fuzziness and complexity of the world. There's also a certain emphasis on me, and I think it might be useful to try to expand this idea of not stealing just a little. A more nuanced wording might be, don't take things that aren't freely given, and I find that this expands my thinking considerably. This wording expresses a concern for the giver, and I like that their feelings are explicitly included. I also find that it shifts the emphasis towards the complexity of our relationships and acknowledges the many ways in which power dynamics inevitably appear. As I reflect on this further, I find it very important to look at this precept from a historical perspective as well. This moment arose as a result of infinite other moments that came before it, moments that have made me who I am in the world and presented me with many privileges. This approach begins to engage the legacies of colonialism, imperialism, and racism that have shaped the world we live in today. A world in which some have more than they will ever need, and many suffer with their needs unmet. The historical approach also invites us to expand our thinking beyond our fellow human beings. How do we steal from other living creatures? And how do we steal from the environment? Here we can begin to think also about what we steal. A critical part of the legacy of slavery is the theft of culture, of history, and of identity itself. I wonder, what else do I steal from others? Do I steal their opinions by trying to say something clever or impressive? Do I steal the possibility of change when I assume somebody will continue to act as they did in the past? Do I steal by the ways my assumptions and associations about another person's race, gender expression, or identity affect how I treat them? I can confidently say yes to all of these and many more. And I also must acknowledge that I steal from myself all the time. In fact, I even steal time itself. So I sit before you today, a thief. And this is just the beginning of the inquiry. Though I am a thief, there are no judges, juries, or executioners here. The precepts are not about punishment. Instead, they're about something much harder. They invite us to ongoing engagement and challenge us not to turn away. Ultimately, this precept challenges us to look at how we engage the world and all the many beings in it. Do we rush to meet our own needs, competing with others for parking spaces and toilet paper? Do we intensify our efforts to meet our needs in a particular way? Because if I'm going to be satisfied, it really has to be just like this. What worldview must lie beneath this kind of behavior? What view of others? What view of ourselves? And how would we behave if we truly felt in our bones, this is enough? The second precept challenges us to look at where we are attached and how we prioritize our needs with those of myriad other beings. It asks, are we open to possibility? Can we be satisfied with what we have? My favorite poem by T.S. Eliot begins, I said to my soul, be still and wait without hope, for hope would be hope for the wrong thing. Wait without love, for love would be love for the wrong thing. There is yet faith, but the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. So I invite you to wait a while the next time this precept appears in your life. Wait and see what happens.